This is Nick D'Amico with Overland Pros again. I figured I would continue instead of stopping my last video and make one actually shows how to attach the side rails and the ladders to the tent. It's fairly self-explanatory, but some people want to see a video, so here you go. So as I said in our previous video night, this is our Anza 2000 2-meter rooftop tent. I just did a video on it, an unboxing. If you want to look back in it, we'll also put it up on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel later. These are the side tracks that come with the 2-meter. They are extruded aluminum tracks. Essentially what you use to do that is right here, lock nuts, bolts. I have a 10mm ratcheting wrench. And I also have a 10mm open-ended wrench. So basically you take take a bolt and a nut, or excuse me, a bolt and a washer. You open the tent. There are holes in the floor right here. Poke the bolts in the washer through that set of holes. As this is a 2-meter tent, we've got 4 bolt holes instead of 2, which is what you would have on a 1.4-meter tent. Obviously the floor is bigger, it's a larger span, so you want to attach it in additional places. So I'm just slipping all these bolts. There's holes in the floor here. Now the way these work, take one of these channels, you will see a slot right there in the center. So you take one of these nuts and it slides right down in that slot. I want to slide all 4 of them in here because that's what I'm going to end up with when I'm done. Take my pocket knife, show you this. And I'm just basically going to slide these guys down so that each nut essentially sits behind each. You see these holes in here? Sits behind each of these holes. They will move around a little bit, so as long as you get them kind of close, you're good enough to get them started. Alright, good enough for now. I'm going to take this track, trying not to tip it too much, and since it is easier to hold it in the middle, I'll start in the middle with this guy here, push him right over the center hole. I'll stick my hand inside the tent, grab the bolt head, just get it started. I'll do the same thing to this hole here. Slip the nut over the hole. Screw the bolts in. Third one is a little ways further down toward the end here. So there's 3 of them. Now I just got this first one. So basically they've all been started. Put the knife away, grab my 10mm. Tighten you guys up. Basically, putting these tracks on does two things. It obviously gives you a way to attach the tent to your vehicle, and it creates a little extra layer of rigidity to keep the tent from flexing and going down the road. So you don't need to tighten these things super tight, just get them good and snug. First one, and then this is the second one. There's one. So when you do one side of the tent, you basically access it through the door. When you do the other track, you access it with the tent closed up. You're basically reaching between the two halves of the tent. I'll show you that here in a second. One more nut to tighten up. So there are also 4 sheet metal screws. What you do with those is once you have the tracks in place, you run the sheet metal screw through the very end of the track into the frame, the actual outer aluminum frame of the tent. That just ties the corners, or the edges rather, a little more snug. So that track is bolted on. Get my other fasteners. And let's see, here's the other 4. So they come pre-assembled, you just spin the nuts off and you're left. Oh, my tapouille is just underneath the mattress. That's where it is in this one too. You'll see, here's the mattress. Bolt heads are underneath the mattress. So I got this track done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the tent, pick it up, turn it around. The packaging cardboard makes a nice way to move your tent around without messing it up. So now the next 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, sticking my hand inside the end. You'll see the end right here, the tent where the mattress is folded. Basically just put my hand under there, feed the bolts to it. There's my 4 bolts. So these tents come with plastic on the bottom, which is just protect the floor finish from getting scuffed up or anything. You can take it off or leave it on. I've taken it off because if I want to take it off later, I'd have to pull the tracks off to get it all the way off, so I just took it off ahead of time. So there I got my 4 holes. As I said, I did an unboxing video earlier. That was going to be the only one I did. Since I had everything out and I had a little time on my hands, I figured, why not? Does it go all the way through? Swan Hero 3. I'm not sure. Only thing inside. Correct Correct, yeah, no, these bolt holes for the tracks, they go through the floor of the tent, and they poke out the bottom where the nuts are. So no, there's no, you don't have to worry about water intrusion or anything. If you've got water on the bottom of your tent, your vehicle is underwater and you've got bigger problems. I'll slide all those in. So this is pretty standard the way that generally all rooftop tents mounting hardware goes, but I figured I'd make a video on it because some people have asked me how to do it. So again, I will start with one of the middle ones so I don't have to support this thing so much. Second one. Third one. And last but not least, the fourth one. As I said, 1.4 meter tents only have 4 bolts, 2 on each track, because this is a 2 meter tent, it's bigger. It does have 4 bolts. A 0.85 thou thick floor. These tight. Oh, and don't do that. Don't drop the wrench. Or you have to pick it up like I just did. That's what they call it live, right? It's really not very difficult assembling one of these. So I've got 2 done, 2 to go. I'm not going to bother putting sheet metal screws in. Alright, so all 4 of the mounting tracks are now in. Let me see if I got any questions. I wouldn't think so, but you never know. TRD buildup. Let's see. 2K12 Rubicon. That is an Anza 2000, which is the big brother to the one you were asking about. We'll lay this guy back down. I'll show you how the ladder goes on. So the side with the tracks is down on the ground, just the way it would sit on the vehicle. This would be the top as it would sit on the vehicle when it starts up. The packing plastic on the bottom, but you don't have to remove it. Personal preference. Now, we open it up halfway again. You want to open the door enough so you can access the interior of the tent just a little bit. So you'll see here, prop this up for a second, put this guy a little closer. Alright. So you see there's these holes right here. So what you do, grab these two brackets. Each has a bolt, nut, and washer. You want to take your bolt head and your washer, put them together. You're going to drop each one of them through these corresponding holes here. And you can see the other hole. Like so. Take your bracket, do the nut on there. It is a 10mm nut. So yeah, Dunk Nasty talking about the ladder swaps. Yeah, so we ship it with an aluminum sliding ladder. Said some people prefer the telescoping ladders. We do have them in stock if you want a telescoping ladder. They look a little neater, I'll say. They fold up a little smaller, but especially if you like to go out to the desert, they do get dirt in them. You can't disassemble them. Sliding ladder, all the components are right out in the open, so it's really easy to clean it. If you've got onboard air, you can blow it out with your air compressor. You can spray a little silicone in it, whatever you need to do to get the action smooth on it. With a telescoping ladder, I said you really can't get inside, so they do tend to go bad after a while. But if you want one, we do have those as well. So there's one bracket, next bracket, essentially the same exact thing. I am gonna put this video up on YouTube once it's done, so that way if you want to skip through it, you don't have to watch me do everything real time. If anybody's got any questions about our products, feel free. I don't care if it's about the ground tents or Raptor awnings or the Anza tents. The ground tent, I think, is probably one of our least, or rather our most underrated products. It's a completely new design from us. It looks similar to a lot of the other ones out there, but there's a lot of differences to it that I feel actually make it very hard to beat for the value. The downside to a ground tent, obviously takes longer to set up. You need cots or an air mattress. something like that, rooftop tent. You don't. If you like to camp in the same place for days on end and drive, come back to camp, the rooftop tent may not be your best bet because you end up having to fold up camp every day, fold up your tent every day, only to come right back to the same camp at night. When I first started in this, I bought rooftop tents. I thought, oh, this is the greatest thing. I really liked it. And then we camped, went wheeling, went back to camp, went wheeling, went back to camp, and I kept having to set it up every night, which isn't super difficult, but if you don't have to set up camp, it's nice. So now I think really, you know, if you can, rooftop tent, have a ground tent. If you're going to stay in the same place, you might want to use a ground tent. If you're going somewhere like Death Valley or somewhere else where you're overlanding, traveling a different place every day, you can't beat the rooftop tent. It's awesome for that. I love them both for different reasons. So both brackets, back up a little bit, both brackets are now installed. So you take your ladder, has little protective end caps on it. Pop the end caps off. Unscrew these nuts on the supply bracket here. There's two. Set one of those on the ground for now. Extend your ladder a little bit. And you basically set your ladder in there. With a bolt and a washer. Now what you want to do is you want to put a bolt, you can see here, a bolt through the bracket with a washer on it, and then this plastic washer. Then you run it through the little mounting ear. Oops. Then you run it through the mounting ear on the bracket. Then you put the nut on. What the plastic washer does, lets you keep the ladder tight so it doesn't rattle around, but it also allows it to move when you want to open and close the tent. So same thing on the other side, just mirror image. Bolt, washer. Sorry if it's getting dark, it's 9:15 here. That slips through there. And the little tab. One thing you can do if you have a hard time getting these in is you can leave these nuts that hold the bracket to the tent itself a little loose. That way you can fit these and then tighten these four lock nuts up later. Now I've got that on, so we'll just hold this with my open-ended wrench. Get these guys tight here. So you just want to get them tight. They are nylon lock nuts. You don't have to wrench them super tight and cause it to bind. They won't back off because they are nylon. And that's basically it. So there's your ladder attached to the top of the tent. Close the tent, and there you go. Essentially, you just throw it up on the vehicle, bolt it down, and put the cover on it. You're good to go. Hopefully that helped answer questions if anybody has them. See if there's any other ones back there. So I don't think so. All right. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good night. Oh, by the way, overlandpros.com. I am Nick at overlandpros.com. That is NICK at OVERLANDPROS.com. overlandpros.com. We are at Overland Pros on Instagram. We're also on Facebook. We're located in Sacramento, California. This is an Anza 2000 280G canvas rooftop tent. Let's see, James Kenrick. Does the other side of the tent stand on the ladder? The side of the tent that is on the ground, look down here for a second. The side of the tent that is on the ground sits on the vehicle. When you open the tent, like so, this end of the tent is supported by the bottom of this ladder right here. Hopefully that answers your question. Anybody else have any questions I can answer? All right, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. Send us a message on Instagram, send us an email. You can contact us on our website. If you want to buy something, tell me that you watched me make one of these videos on Instagram, and I'll give you a discount for your trouble. All right, you guys take care. Have a good night.